Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me. I've come out of the marina for a few days. I am sitting on the boat underneath the rear canopy. I was hoping to sit on the edge of the boat with a nice sunny background, but it has been raining, so you might hear when it starts again some drops of rain on the roof of the canopy, and also there's a little bit of wind, and this is chinkering at the side here. Sometimes it's going ting ting ting. Hi, and thanks for joining me. First of all, I should say a big hello to everyone, and a particular welcome to any new viewers or subscribers that are watching. If you are a new viewer and haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. People have been asking me about Jasmine and where she is, and I'm going to explain all about that a little bit later on. But I do need to explain my philosophy, I suppose you might call it, about how I publish my videos, because I take all sorts of videos. They're not only cruising, some are DIY, some are canal related repairs, others are visits to attractions, museums, pumping stations, that sort of thing. Now, unlike many boat tubers, boat tuber being the term used for someone that owns a boat and has a YouTube channel, I am not a continuous cruiser. A continuous cruiser is someone that spends their whole life virtually on the canal system, although they might go into a marina at winter time when the weather is bad and the Canal and River Trust are carrying out repair works. There are winter closures, which means parts of the navigation are not navigable. So that does tend to stop people in their tracks at times, and with bad weather some people do like to take refuge in a marina, if only for a month or two. Earlier this year we had the 7 weeks closure at Watford Locks, where, as many of you will know, I do volunteer and assist other boaters through the locks. I'm going to prepare lock 2 for the boat that's presently coming down. Although the volunteers are there to manage the locks rather than operate them, we do give assistance, and particularly to sole boaters. There seems to be a feeling now that anyone who buys a narrowboat has to have a YouTube channel and vlog. I want to make it clear to everyone, in case you're not aware, that I have always recorded my travels on film. Initially it was just with still shots, photos, that sort of thing, and more latterly, in recent years, maybe the last 10-15 years, on film. Well, probably more than that actually. Time does pass very quickly. So I have always recorded my travels for me, and I used to make DVDs for my benefit only. I also do have another YouTube channel. It's one that I set up as a sort of repository for my films, which tended to be very short. It has about 50 viewers, and I have sort of abandoned it now. But I did have fun uploading things there. When I started my narrowboat venture, I stopped doing anything on that, and as it was more of a private site for me, although it was public, it was more just somewhere that I like to upload some videos now and again. As a lot of my travels were made whilst I was working, I amassed quite a collection of video footage which has never been edited, and it sat there waiting for me to do something with it. But some of you may have noticed that the last vlog I published, or the one before that I should say, was number 300. So this channel has kept me pretty busy. Many boat tubers, particularly continuous cruisers, will cruise for a few days or a week or so forth. They'll moor up, they'll edit and they'll produce a vlog. Some may not do it quite like that, but generally continuous cruisers are in a position to move about, film, publish, move about, film, publish. I am based in a marina, which makes the whole concept very different indeed. So what I've tended to do, I will go out on a cruise, I will film intensively. Sometimes I get 2 or even 3 episodes from one day's filming. So I film intensively and then I create whatever number of videos I can and I publish them over a period of time. And that is particularly true of the current series I'm publishing, which has a couple of episodes to go, plus possibly a bonus episode. For those of you that aren't aware, I am based in Yelvertoft Marina, which is on the Leicester Summit section of the Grand Union Canal. That is what we term a narrow canal, in that it is not suitable for wide beam boats, in that they cannot access the canal. Because on the north of the summit we have Foxton Locks, and on the south of the summit we have Watford Locks, where I volunteer, and these are single width locks. But I do have 20 miles of lock-free cruising. In fact, if I come out of the marina and bear to the right, I can get up to Foxton Locks in about 16 miles. And I often do that during the summer. It's nice to go out, it's lovely cruising on the Leicester Summit. Cruising videos can be long or short. Sometimes I just go out for a few days, sometimes I go out on a longer cruise. And what I'm trying to achieve is to give the viewer the impression that they are on the boat with me, taking part in my journey and hopefully enjoying it. And I know I achieved that because many of you tell me so. COVID struck in 2020 and cruising was banned for a period, although movements for continuous cruisers were allowed to get water and that sort of thing. In August 2020 I set out on a cruise to Warwick, which was curtailed. I had to come back a little bit earlier than I expected. The following year I did 2 cruises. One was to Cosgrove on the Grand Union Canal. The other was to Kilby Bridge on the Leicester line of the Grand Union Canal. When I did my Ashby cruise in 2019, I produced 12 episodes filmed over 16 days, which were published over 3 months. The Cosgrove cruise had 15 episodes, also published over 3 months. And the Kilby Bridge cruise had 9 episodes, published over 2 months. This year I went on my longest cruise ever, leaving the marina on Sunday the 12th of June. I had planned to be out longer than I was. I was actually out for 4 weeks, but had hoped initially to go away for up to 2 months. But I had to attend a family wedding in mid-July, so I had to make sure I was back in good time for that. I was actually away for 26 nights and filmed every day for 14 days on the outward journey. I knew that Jasmine wouldn't be able to join me for the whole period because of work and family commitments, but I had hoped she might have been able to join me for a few days, but unfortunately that wasn't to be. On my return, I started publishing my summer cruising series. Unlike other series where you know where I'm going from the outset, with this one I decided to keep it a secret. So I just set off, and every episode was an adventure in itself, with the destination unknown. And I thought that was an interesting way of doing it. And in fact, I still haven't reached my destination. There's still 2 more episodes to be published, plus possibly a bonus episode. So look out for those, won't you? I said earlier I take a lot of film when I'm out cruising, and so far I have published 17 episodes. So when the series is complete, there should be 20 episodes, and that would have been published over a period of 4 months. When I'm publishing a series like that over such a long period, I get myself into a bit of a quandary, because I want to stay in touch with you, and I don't feel I've done that very well on this occasion. Just let this boat pass, shall we? Hello. Hello. Yes, I don't feel I've kept in touch with you in quite the way I would have liked to have done, because my initial thought was I would publish the whole cruising series, and that doesn't actually work. So after a while I started publishing 1 or 2 others. One of the ones I published was the chimney collar repair. That was filmed and published shortly after I made that film. And then of course we had the very sad news of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth passing, and I published another film relating to her and my father, and that again was very current. And I do feel, looking ahead to next year, I must make a better attempt at keeping in touch with you, engaging with you more often, like I used to do previously. What I'm coming to is the fact that viewers are not always aware when something was filmed. They often think it's been filmed currently, and sometimes that is not the case. The Cragside and Beamish videos, which I've published just recently, were actually filmed in April, and that date is on the film. Likewise with the cruising series, which was filmed in June, the date is put on every episode, and most of my videos do have a date when they were filmed, unless it's not relevant. I don't think I put the date on the chimney collar repair, because it didn't matter if it was this day or another day. Some videos do need to be published when they are current. There's no point in going to the Crick Boat Show and filming that and then publishing it 3 months later. It needs to come out fairly quickly after the show has been attended, and that's what I do. But I am aware from the comments that I receive from viewers, they'll say, oh, you know, whilst you're there you should go and look at this or look at that, or I'm more just round the corner, and this sort of thing. But it happened so long ago. And I know what it's like when I watch telly sometimes. I'm often reading or doing something else, and if it appears on the screen 3 years ago, you miss it and you lose the plot. And I think many people do miss the fact that I put a date on the videos. So the present cruising series was all filmed in June, and now here we are in the autumn period and I'm still publishing it. With holiday type trips, timing of publication is less important. When we went to Ironbridge, that was for Valentine's, so that needed to be published concurrent with that time. But when we did our trip to Northumberland, that was in April. So the films I made of that, of Cragside and Beamish, it didn't really matter when they were published, sooner or later, and that's why they've been published more recently. I will, in another vlog, talk about what I have planned going forward, because I've done a lot of filming this year. it's not all cruising, but I have got a lot of film ready to edit in the coming months, and I will talk about that separately, because what I'm meant to be coming to is where is Jasmine, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Jasmine has a sister living in America who came over for a visit about the time I set out on my summer cruise. I thought she was coming for 2 weeks, but I was mistaken. She actually came for 2 months, and in that 2-month period I only saw Jasmine once, which was in July for the family wedding. I did do Instagram and Facebook posts of a National Trust property we visited on the way back from the wedding as a way of keeping in touch with you, but I am aware that many of you don't actually follow me on either of these mediums, and I'm not a great social media person. I do say when I'm publishing my videos, and I do the occasional other post on Instagram and Facebook, but I'm not as active on social media as many other vloggers are. It's just really not my scene. It's a way of keeping you informed, and that's what's important to me. At the time Jasmine's sister returned to America, another London-based sister had a full knee replacement. And being a nurse of 50 years standing, she went to stay with her sister to look after her during her recovery. But she was also occasionally coming back at weekends to work on a Saturday, as she had been doing since she retired in December last year. So during this period I didn't see her either. So nearly 4 months went past and we only saw each other once, which was for the family wedding that we attended together. In this period, viewers were asking about Jasmine and hoping she was well and where is she, and I was giving honest and truthful answers that she was fine and that she was, you know, with her sister and looking after the sister that had the knee replacement, and that's... I'm trying to explain why you haven't seen much of Jasmine recently, and then suddenly she's appeared. And the reason is that the Cragside and Beamish videos were published just recently. They were filmed in April, with all that was going on with other things at the time, with Dad, the boat show, other things that were happening. I didn't rush to publish those, and that's why they've been published just in the last couple of weeks. And some of you have realised that it was April and some of you haven't. Jasmine is very committed to her family. She has 3 brothers and 3 sisters, many of whom are not in good health. She's also committed to her children and her grandchildren, likes to see them a lot. And we realised it was getting difficult, I suppose, for us to do things as perhaps we would have liked to have done. And we've not fallen out or anything like that, but we have decided the time has come to part. And I did see her last week. She is well, she is in good spirits. Neither of us are upset at what's happened. It is disappointing, I have to say. You know, I would have liked it to have gone on. We're going to remain friends, and hopefully we will see each other from time to time. But I think most of the film that I've taken where she appears in her own right, as it were, have now been published. There may be some footage I have or odd things where she will appear, but generally that is it. So I'm sorry to bring you such bad news. I don't really know what more I can say, other than that she did enjoy doing the cooking videos very much, and she enjoyed reading your comments, and I think she will miss that. But we each have to go our own way now. But she does thank you for all your lovely remarks that she received. Well, the rain isn't letting up. It was expected to rain today, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I just thought it was going to be very light showers, but it does seem to have worsened whilst I've been speaking to you. It's just miserable, isn't it? Just a miserable day. I'm going to leave this episode here. I do want to speak to you about film that I have already taken. I've got a number of projects on the go, and I will discuss that in another vlog. I think for now I will finish publishing the summer cruise. It's ridiculous in a way that we're now in October and I'm publishing something that was filmed in June. But it does help me to do it that way. I work very intensively, day after day after day, into the early hours of the morning. So I get the basis of the films made. And that actually does give me a bit of a break whilst I'm publishing. It means a lot of the hard work has been done. But I will talk about that and where I've been in another episode. Let's get the cruising series done and dusted, and then we'll carry on. So once again, many thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do think about doing so. Look after yourselves, your friends and families. Take the utmost care. Until next time, bye for now.